Jeff, how we doing?
I'm doing great.
You guys are in for a treat today. Get ready. Welcome to the Adventures of an Entrepreneur. And one of the things that we're going to learn and why we built this whole podcast out is because we wanted to help people that were thinking about launching their own business. Maybe they're working for someone, maybe they're thinking about launching their own business. Maybe they're an entrepreneur and they own their own business, or maybe they have multiple businesses and they're just trying to scale. So the goal with the podcast, and especially with Jeff today, you guys are going to hear how someone with a background so unique and so cool and how he went ahead and literally built his lending empire and what he does and how he serves his clients. So get ready, you guys. Strap in, hats on, helmets on. We're in for a ride. So Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. First podcast.
First podcast ever.
Yep.
All right. You need any water?
No, I'm fine.
We got makeup in the back. It was cool. We had some nice treats. It was good. We got some bourbon. I'm just kidding. There's no bourbon. Just playing. So I have known Jeff Richards since 1963, you guys. I'm just kidding. I'm not even that old. Just so you guys know. It's so good. Jeff, how long have we known each other?
Probably at least 10 years, I feel like.
It's probably been at least 10 years.
At least 10 years, maybe 15. Been in the business 20, so yeah, I feel like 5 years in, I was lucky enough to meet you,
So, and where do we meet?
That's a great question. I can usually remember that stuff, but I'm probably on I'm assuming on a transaction, maybe.
Potentially. So Jeff is with
Rate Mortgage
as a
loan officer.
Yeah, senior loan officer. You've been in the business 20 years.
Yep.
You help people do what?
Buy or refinance homes.
Yeah, so you're on the marketplace. You're going to go ahead and you're going to serve people that are thinking about literally purchasing one of their dreams, which is owning real estate. Did you know the number one dream in the U.S. is owning a house?
I didn't know that, but it makes sense.
The number one dream. My number one dream is I would love to be a professional speaker with 10, 20, 30,000 people in the audience. I'm just kidding, dude. You know what? Did you know number one, outside of death, the number one fear of people, do you know what it is?
Public speaking?
Public speaking. People get freaked out. And I'm like, we're all human. Why does it matter if we're talking to one person, 10 people, 1,000 people, 100,000 people, but people get freaked out.
Yeah.
And so the relationship and the friendship that we've built over the years is I love your story. And I love how you serve and I love how you think. So can you tell everyone a little bit about your story? Where were you born? Where were you raised? In business?
Yep, I'm a local DMV guy. I'm born in DC, grew up in Maryland, went to University of Delaware, came back to Maryland, and interestingly enough, started migrating the way around the Beltway. I used to live near Annapolis, Anne Arundel County.
Ooh, okay.
So when I graduated in the 90s from college, all the jobs were around the Beltway. So my first move was to Montgomery County, Maryland, and I made my way further across the river to ended up in Reston, lived in Ashburn, back to Reston, and been there ever since. So,
what was your first job out of school?
First job out of school was at a retail bank management.
Ooh.
Which lasted about 18 months. And I wasn't upset it ended because I felt it was, been there, time to move on.
And what did you study in school at university?
I got a bachelor's in finance and a master's. Went directly back to get an MBA, so.
And then went right into banking.
Yep, into banking.
How'd you know it was time to leave? How'd you know, 18 months later, it's time to bounce? I'm not liking this.
It was just the retail banking, it's good, but it just wasn't for me. I knew I wanted to do more. I got into consulting after that.
I didn't know that. Yeah. What kind of consulting?
It was it was fun. I was in the finance department for a consulting firm. And then it was Anderson Consulting, which now is Accenture.
Oh yeah, Anderson.
So yeah, I had a great 5 years there. Met a lot of great people, fun experiences. I did a little, client-facing work towards the end of my career there, which was great. But, also I always had the bug for real estate, starting in college and being in finance. So I knew it was time to move on and do something a little bit more entrepreneurial. At the time, it was the early 2000s or the refis were booming.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, so I was calling people, trying to get in the business, but everyone's too busy writing loans. But I had a friend / almost like a family member gave me a shot, my first shot in the business. So I left corporate America and got into mortgages. 5 years into a corporate job, leaving that for 100% commission was a little bit scary, but it was a good time because it was a time where I was able to do loans and learn the business at the same time.
Well, market was healthy, so you could step right in, earn income right away.
Yep.
But that is very big, and something very important, something key, is that you were at a corporate job, 5 years in, benefits, salary, I'm sure vacations, sick leave, and you were like, okay, I'm not happy. And so for you, a lot of people unfortunately stay in a job that they're not happy with because it's safe, it's secure, and you're like, I'm not doing this. I wanted to go ahead and branch out. It was funny because right now, if someone wanted to get into the mortgage lending business, it's not too hard to get in. There's certifications, et cetera. But for you, you were like, I'm going to take the leap of faith. And so when you transition, if you're someone that's working for someone else and you've always had that passion, you've always had something like, I think there's more in life for me. I think there's more that I want to do. I think there's more that I can contribute. I need to take a risk and I need to bet on myself. And that's what entrepreneurs do, right? We bet on ourselves when we go ahead and we launch. When I left corporate, I used to be a banker. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
I was a banker. I love being banking. Like banking for me, I was around money and I am very money hungry. It was all about money. It was also about serving. And so like, I remember I was a number one and number two, me and my colleague in our branch, we were in Arlington, Boston, Arlington, and they called us Batman and Robin because in our district for the bank, we were the number one and number two banker consistently. Each quarter we made the quarterly breakfast, and they had really good breakfast, dude. Like, I love omelets. I don't know about you, and I don't know why I'm digressing, but well done omelets made with the right toppings. Oh, it's amazing. But I digress. But I think taking that leap and saying, you know what, I'm going to bet on myself and I'm going to try this. Worst case, it didn't work out. You go back to corporate America. So
that's exactly how I felt.
Yeah. So Jeff, what was the trigger that said, okay, I got to do this? Like, why was it? Why not 6 years in? Why not 4 years in? Why was it 5 years in? What made you transition?
Because I recognized it was a good time because of the market. I had people I knew in the business doing a lot of business because the rates were low and that's all on the news. That's all you heard about refinancing. Real estate was booming. Prices were going up. So I'm like, I want to get in. I want to get in. Yeah. And the reason went now because I was trying to get in and it was just, they didn't need you in then. And I had an opportunity with like I said, like a family friend and he gave me that opportunity and I took it. So it was daunting, but it all worked out.
And how long were you there until you made the next move?
I was there 18 months. And the only reason I moved, it was a great company. I was trained fantastic. I was still friends with the people I worked with there originally. The mortgage, it's a small world.
Okay.
But I realized it wasn't set up for purchase business. It was all refi. It was a call center refi, so I was getting leads.
So it was a one product type organization. So as a mortgage lender, or even as a real estate professional, we are independent contractors that you then go ahead and affiliate, or you can go work at a bank or a mortgage company. But for the most part, you're still your own boss. You still have to go ahead and run your own business. You still got to run like your business. We're 100% commission. And so like whatever, if you're not helping a client refinance or purchase, you're not putting food on the table.
That's exactly it. I always joke, it's easy to get a mortgage job. It's hard to keep it, because
easy to get a mortgage job.
Yeah.
Hard to keep it.
Yeah. Or harder to keep it. It's not hard. So, and it's funny. One of my mentors and an early boss I had, he had that attitude, which is the right attitude. It's like, once you get established, the nice thing is, no matter where you work, it's your revenue. So how much of my revenue am I going to share with whatever bank or company I'm working with? So it's a nice job security to have because it's your business.
It's your business. And so you get to make choices and make decisions that can either scale your business, really serve clients at a deeper level. You have all the flexibility and freedom. Now you have compliance, of course, and you have some legal that you have to stay within and be compliant. But for the most part, you have the freedom to be able to build your business, run your business any way you want.
That's exactly it. Yep.
And so why are you still in the business 20 years later? Like what?
For all those reasons. I enjoy it. I love real estate. I love helping people. It's been very good to me over the years. There's up years, there's down years, but overall it's a great business. So yes, it works. And I've been lucky enough to work for, about 5 different mortgage companies over 20 plus years. And I've met great people. Once you meet a lot of people that I work with now are from the same 3 companies ago. When you find a good group of people, you stick together because it works.
It works.
It works.
It's good, like bonding as well.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when we run our own business, we can isolate when we are a realtor or a mortgage lender or any kind of business, really. If you don't have other people that you can really bond with or connect with that have like-minded businesses, it's easy to drift. It's easy to get isolated. And it's sometimes we can get into these ruts that's really hard to get out of. Yeah. So, Jeff, if you're going to say your biggest challenge in the business, what is it? What's the biggest challenge in your business today?
Currently now?
Yeah.
I would say low inventory, which means there's a lot of buyers out there and not enough to buy. Now, luckily
Of
now,
houses.
of houses, and also the higher interest rate environment. And then just being focused on, being productive instead of busy, like we talk about it.
Ooh, this is really key. This is going to be really important. The difference between productive and busy is what?
Money generating when you're self-employed or 100% commission. You know this because you've been in the same boat for a long time. You can feel busy but not productive, there's a big distinction. And it's hard to keep yourself focused on what you should be doing, and it's a typical entrepreneur problem. You got to learn to delegate. Get involved with good people, good team, the right company. Stay in your lane, delegate. There's just it's a skill, and you learn. And that's the other thing. You're always learning. Always learning.
But you're right. There is a difference between busy and productive. And busy is like there's always something to do.
Right.
There's never a time where you're going to be like, I got nothing to do today. I don't know what to do. And if you do get to that point, that's a great point to have. But then are you wasting life? Are you not taking advantage of all your untapped potential? Like, what does that look like? Being productive is I have some non-negotiables in my day that I have to get done. So what would be a non-negotiable in your day? Like outside of like brushing your teeth. You brush your teeth, right?
For me personally, it's a non-negotiable is getting out and doing the networking, marketing, meeting people, and not getting bogged down with the paperwork.
I was going to say non-negotiable is like taking a shower. So like I got it. I brush my teeth. You know what's crazy? I brush my teeth 3 times a day with 3 different toothpastes.
Interesting. I never knew that.
Actually, I have 2 regular toothbrushes. Then I have an electronic toothbrush, and I have 3 different toothpastes. I floss every day. Like, okay, Saturdays and Sundays I don't floss, but Monday through Friday I'm hardcore. That's part of my non-negotiables. You're gonna floss every day, 5 days a week. You're gonna brush your teeth 3 times a day, which is crazy. So, and again, I digress, which was so good. But business-wise, you're right. You gotta like connect. You gotta engage, because I think in both our businesses, both the real estate industry and both the mortgage industry, if we are not connecting, if we're not visible, if we're not meeting new people, then we have to make sure that we're doing other things in our business to generate momentum and what I would call like critical mass. Critical mass is where if someone thinks about real estate or thinks about mortgage lending, they think of Jeff or they think of Bryan. And so what would you say? What do you love about the business? If you're like, I love the business because...
You know what's so great about this business is there's a million ways to do it. So back to, I know a lot of loan officers, extremely successful, and they all do it in kind of different ways. So you kind of find your niche. That's what I enjoy about the business, and find your niche and stick to it and do what you're best at. And if there's a void on your team, you can fill it with someone else.
Well, and you just hit it. I think more than anything else, whether it's you're a professional service like a financial advisor, an attorney that's launched their own firm, a CPA firm, whether it's IT, whether it's tech, whether it's real estate, medical, it doesn't matter. There are so many different ways to quote unquote skin the cat. But once you find the way that you are able to do it, you have to be all in. Like in our business, in real estate, we are a referral-based business. And so like our biggest and focus for the team, our biggest focus is a lot of real estate agents are really good before and during a transaction, but they're terrible after. So we focus on the after. Like we have a cookie machine. So we bake 484 cookies a month to make sure we're staying in touch with our clients. We'll swing by after someone moves into their house and stay in touch. Like, I think there's different ways that you said, Jeff, that you can go ahead and really identify what works for you in your business, knowing there's a million different ways that you can go ahead and scale your business. But the key is how do you create that unique selling proposition? What makes you different from your competitors? And if everyone's going left, how do you go right? And so in your business, if everyone's going left, how do you go right? How do you differentiate?
I think what I've been successful at over the years is I really like care. I love getting people in a new house because I just feel like it sends people on a new trajectory financially. So it makes me feel really good. And back to your, the one thing I believe wholeheartedly, 100%, if someone comes to me and a good team, we'll get you in a house, no question about it. It might not be next week, it might take 6 months, it might take a year, but there are so many loan programs, so many different down payment assistance, so many opportunities to get a house. It's just a matter of, and I love helping those kind of clients who never thought they could get one because it changes our life. and they appreciate it.
And the impact that you can have on someone's life when you help someone buy a house.
Yep.
Or refinance their house because they need to get money out to be able to fix up their home. I know a lot of people, unfortunately, in your business and in mine, that are only about the transaction. And I was going to say, care is probably the biggest thing for you, is how you care about people, how you engage with people, and how you stay in touch with people. And you will bite, scratch, and claw. Like, you're like a tiger. Like, you should start, like, roaring. When you, like, wake up in the morning, you should roar. Have you ever roared?
No.
I'm not a big roarer, but I don't even know how to spell roarer, but I know how to spell roarer. But I have noticed that you are super intentional, and you will you'll peel back the onion any way you possibly can to serve the client, which is really, really impressive. Looking back on 20 years, what would be some advice that you give someone that was working for someone and they're thinking about making the leap? Like, how would you say, okay, you know what, you should do this, or you shouldn't do this? Like, what would be a piece of advice? You work corporate, you took the leap. I work corporate, I took the leap. What would you give? What advice would you give?
I mean, just talk to people. That's what I did when I met with, I thought for a short time I want to be a realtor. So I met a couple of realtors, very nice. Realtors are very open to meeting people, giving good advice. I met with a couple lenders, and I waited out. But the point is, just meet people in the business, ask them their opinion, their advice, and I think that service will serve you well.
That's great. What do you do for fun?
Me, I'm a cyclist. Lately, over the past couple of years, I got into biking. We got a big group of guys that we bike around Reston and
Harley Davidson.
No, like road bikes.
Oh, road bikes.
Do a little mountain biking, and there's a new thing called gravel bike now. It's like kind of a hybrid between a road bike and a mountain bike. It's a gravel bike, and it's great because road biking is a little dangerous. People are worried about getting sideswiped by distracted drivers. So now a bunch of guys, what we do is buy these bikes, go out to Loudoun County and ride the gravel roads, which is awesome.
So it's a mountain bike?
A hybrid between a mountain bike and a road bike.
Are the tires different?
Yeah, they're a little fatter because you're on gravel roads, loose gravel and stuff, but it's great. When you're out there, you don't have to worry about getting hit by a car as much, and then...
That's important.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, the only problem with that is it's more of a process like golf. It's half a day, getting your car, driving out there. Now what I do is get up, go do my 20, 30 miles, around an hour and a half and home, so it's efficient.
And how do you balance out? That's a really good point. So you've been able to identify, this is work, this is home. How do you turn it off?
That's another huge challenge, but the regular exercises help that, with other people, self-employed people around. Sometimes it's hard when people have jobs and stuff, but I got a group of guys, and either sales guys or self-employed people, and we'll go out for a long lunch and bike and get back.
Yeah, it's just balancing out, like, hey, I'm grinding, I'm serving clients, I'm doing my thing, but I also need to make sure that I take time for myself.
Absolutely.
Take time for my family. Take time to refresh, refocus, re-energize.
100%. You learn that, the hard way a lot of times. It's hard to turn it off when you're in our business.
Especially if you love it so much, you want to be connected all the time, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Jeff, you have been awesome. I just wanted to thank you for coming on. So a hack is make sure if you are working for someone, you're thinking about making the leap, do your due diligence, talk to a lot of people, get the good, the bad, the ugly. And then when it comes down to it, really have a game plan. Like, get into a market or get into a role or own a business or open up a business, launch a business that really has upside potential. And then really know that there's going to be some highs and lows and some up and downs. But if you stay consistent and you care about the clients and the customers you serve, it will go a long way. Jeff, you've been awesome.
Thanks, Bryan.
Make sure you guys like this episode. Make sure you guys subscribe. Thank you so much. I can't wait to have you on again. Go hit the road and go do some biking.
Great.